So I mean, who are you gonna believe? Old Rattler here that says you need VCDS, or Google's AI that says no, you can use OBD2. So this whole time I've been going off the bad information from Google, where they said that you'll be able to read your ABS codes on a Mark IV Jetta with any generic onboard diagnostic 2 scanner. But I've done the research myself and unplugged the wheel speed sensor and I didn't get a code. And it says you can do it with a regular generic onboard diagnostic 2 scanner. You don't need the fancy VCDS or a vehicle specific one. And then something happened with the car forums where the algorithm changed, or I don't know. It's just not the same as it used to be. VW Vortex has lost their mind. Look at this. Mazda, Toyota, Kia, Mustang, concept car bullshit, and then Mark 8 spare fitment. On VW Vortex, this is what's on the homepage. And we did see some things on the forums that say it could be the mass airflow sensor, and I've had problems with that before, so. I had the same problem. It was my MAF sensor. But then Mo agrees with this guy and says it's the MAF sensor. And then back to people saying it's the wheel speed sensor. So Jeff said it's the MAF sensor, and then he jumps in the conversation again. Oh, and by the way, traction control and ABS light on means the ABS control module has failed. A common problem. You just need to find the ABS module. But he said it was the MAF sensor, a couple posts before that. So you end up just reading a bunch of posts where it's people going back and forth and you never get a solid answer. And it never used to be like that. Back in the day, you could go on VW Vortex and actually get help. I'm sure there's a lot of good information in here, but it just, this is so terrible to navigate through. Forum listing? Oh, this brings us back to this fucking 700 option page. I can't even find Mark IV Jetta forums. So back onto the TDI Club, more research. The ABS light is probably due to a faulty wheel speed sensor, but you will need a VCDS or equivalent to check the ABS controller. He's saying VCDS. You don't need VCDS. Go to AutoZone and use the code reader, or any code reader from Amazon. See, it's just back and forth, back and forth. VCDS helped me with the same issue, faulty clock spring. $70 for the sensor isn't terrible. Fucking Mr. Moneybags over here. 00285 ABS wheel speed sensor, front right, G45. Those are VCDS codes. So then I went to the local parts store, and there's some debate online whether their scanners will work. And it turns out that scanner doesn't pick anything up either. He just told me that my O2 sensor code was showing up. And we know that's true. I guess it would be cheaper to just buy all 4 wheel speed sensors than to buy the scanner or to pay someone to scan it. So I just got 4 wheel speed sensors, and we're going to go ahead and change those. So thanks to everyone in my YouTube comments, I think I got this figured out. Well, I thought I had it figured out last week for about 12 hours when I cleaned the ABS sensors. And the way it works, the front ones won't really get dirty, and I didn't know that the rears were a completely different setup, where the tone ring goes over the hub, and then in between all the little grooves it can get brake dust. So you might want to start with cleaning out your rear ones, but that didn't fix my problem. Obviously I'm not going to throw these old sensors away because there's probably 3 good ones. So I think my Eibach Racing spring on the driver's side is broken too. If you can see the end down there. It doesn't come around to where it's supposed to anymore. So, but we're leaning to the right. So I've got 4 new wheel speed sensors installed. Alright, no ABS light. We're at 185, 579, 0 on the trip. And hopefully we don't have any more ABS light problems. Well, it looks like I'm wrong again. I installed 4 new wheel speed sensors 24.5 miles ago. And I just started it, and the ABS and traction control light came back on. So I come out and get in the car at 32 miles on the trip, and the ABS and traction control light are off. So it's still a not all the time problem. So I might just look into buying a scan tool again, and then we won't have to worry about this problem, and we can figure out what's going on, whether it's the mass airflow sensor or the ABS control module, which I hope it's not that, because it would be cheaper to just buy another Jetta.
The ABS light means you probably have something related to either a bad wheel speed sensor or even more commonly a bad ABS module, which is super expensive now. On vehicles like EOS's...
On Rock Auto, there's nothing in brake and wheel hub for the ABS control module. The only thing close to that would be at the very bottom of the wheel speed sensor list. It doesn't call it the ABS control module. And then if you look at other sites, like just put in AutoZone and see if you can get an ABS control module for your 03 2.8 Jetta. And it says 0 results. So I don't know if it's a non-existent part or I'm just too stupid. But I'm going to stay positive and keep working on it. Today I went to the hardware store and got the stuff to finish the skid plate install because we couldn't get it to fit on with the stuff they sent us. So we just got to keep working at it and we'll get this Jetta running perfect one day. So is this what you sneaky Europeans are doing to fix the problem?
Basically what somebody has done,
you just take out the bulb.
Where the ABS light should be there, they've taken out the bulb from the relevant. One thing we have noticed, and it's quite a common occurrence unfortunately, basically I'm just going to start the ignition here.
Common occurrence, you
Where
say?
you see this gap here, there should be an ABS light showing up on the dashboard here. And we've seen it before. It happened a few months back when we were working on a Vauxhall Astra. So
you European right side drive guys are plugging in your scan tools down here? I never seen that before. But if you're struggling to fix your car, it's okay, because maybe it's not your fault. Maybe Google's just lying to you and you're getting a bunch of bad information, which makes diagnosing it very hard. But we'll get it figured out eventually.